Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have Chaos versus the Greenskins, and the aspiring champions have decided to grace us with their presence on the field of battle. We have Get Up Mule is leading Chaos, and we have Newport leading the Greenskins. So for Chaos, we have quite a mobility and skirmish potential here. We have two horsemen and a horse masters on two flanks right now. So that's two horse masters and four horsemen in total. A front line of Chaos Marauders, four of them. We have the aspiring champions providing a bit of extra leadership to that front line. A very cool unit, but often you will not see them used for Chaos. It's just a little too overpriced, and they just don't do quite enough for that price tag. We do have 3 Chaos Trolls of the Armored Department. We have some Chosen in the back, and we have Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, to lead these Chaos forces. He is going to be bringing the Slayer of Kings, Standard Eye, the Burning Head, and Fireball, as well as Crown of Domination, providing a little extra leadership and Immunopsychology. Immunopsychology is not going to be as important against the Greenskins, not a whole lot in the Fear or Terror department. As I say that, though, they do have the Stone Trolls and the River Trolls who do have Fear, just not a whole lot of Terror. So for the Greenskins, we do have a front line of Savage Orc Biggins, a couple of those mixed in with, we have some Night Goblins. We have the Night Goblins ROR variant, giving some nice poison in, which the regular units already have. Some more Night Goblins. Backline going to be some Orc Arrow Boys, as well as some Nasty Skulkers with their Smoke Bomb to kind of slow things down. The mobility department is being some Forest Goblin Spider Riders. We have 4 units of those across the line. We have a Goblin Big Boss. Bring in... they need Stabbin, providing minus 30 armor and minus 24 melee defense to a lord or hero. Even with that, I don't know if he's going to want to be tangling with Archaon. He is quite the elite duelist. We have a Night Goblin Shaman bringing Vindictive Glare, as well as Itchy Nuisance and Gorkle Fix-It. Itchy Nuisance is going to be very, very useful, giving some nice buff to, or debuff to, melee weapon damage and melee attack, especially to these Marauders here, whose melee attack is only going to be 34, so that's going to reduce them down to only 10. We also have Skarsnik, who is going to be bringing his Fermented Fungi, Spite of the Bad Moon, and Get Back Here, providing a nice buff to leadership. But that will be our forces here, and is going to be a heavy skirmish engagement, at least to start things off, which Chaos should have the edge for, and they should know it, with the 4 horsemen and a couple horse masters. Though these Forest Goblin Spider Riders can be quite a pain in the rear to try and deal with them. Though hopefully Chaos will be able to find the tools for the job. I mean, so far here, it's going to be, we're going to have a troll-on-troll action, as we have the Stone Trolls and the River Trolls up against the Chaos Armored Trolls. I think the Stone Trolls definitely are going to be able to do fairly well in that particular department. You don't really see the River Trolls so much. You'll often see the ROR variant every now and again, but just the regular variant is a little bit of an odd sight, though they do have their uses. These Nasty Skulkers have been spotted, and they will be able to keep at least the mobility of the Chaos Skirmishers at bay. A Vindictive Glare not really doing a whole lot. Looks like it was targeting these Chaos Trolls, but no damage was being done there. We have a Burning Head from Chaos trying to catch out these Greenskins, with Newport being on top of things, being able to pull back. They went through the River Trolls a little bit, and actually does pick off some of the Savage Orcs. Big Gun's doing a decent amount of damage, but I think that was a little preemptive on that cast. Definitely should have waited until things were engaged. It would have been a lot harder to dodge. And Chaos does probably need to get a charge off here. The Chaos Marauders do not have a charge defense, though it does look like the Stone Trolls weren't really able to get a charge themselves, being in the tree line, though the rest of these Marauders really do need to get a charge. and it doesn't look like they'll be getting them off, but we do have a nice counter charge by the Chaos Armored Trolls, and quickly Archaon was able to rout off that Goblin Big Boss. I mean, I look away for a second, and Archaon just absolutely puts that Goblin Big Boss into the dumpster. And man, that just proves how strong Archaon is when it comes to that engagement. We do have the Nasty Skulkers using their smoke bomb on a couple of these horsemen, getting them to rout off very quickly. I don't think these horsemen really need to be engaging in combat so quickly, or at least they should be trying to surround these archers here and break things apart. And another burning head, this time cast as everything was engaged, and absolutely roasting these greenskins and a bit of the chaos troops as well, as it does arc a little bit. And it looks like the tail end of that cast is going to be going a little bit more against the chaos's own forces. But now these chaos trolls are standing alone, and they really do need infantry support. Any of the troll variants need something, but it looks like chaos forces are starting to break across the board, even though they do have the skirmishing, or at least they did have the skirmishing advantage. The chaos forces have been buckling fairly strong, and the greenskins are able to capitalize on that with their own infantry, and their skirmishers should be able to push things off as well. So we see we have one of the Forest Goblin Spider Riders are going to be escorting these armored trolls off the map, and they definitely need to be tried to peel off from some of the units, but it looks like all of the Chaos Skirmishers are on the other side of the engagement, so they will not be able to save them. Another burning head. This time it looks like it's just going straight through that middle of the engagement, going to be clipping pretty much every unit. The Aspiring Champions are actually able to keep their own units in line here, with that leadership buff. I mean, it is Chosen. We also have Archaon, the Ever Chosen, as well. So this is going to be a very strong center engagement. Chosen and the Aspiring Champions will not go down without a fight, as they do have Fight or Die, giving an additional buff to melee defense. And once these Chaos Marauders get a little closer, and they should get a little bit of buff to their leadership department. And yeah, it's really going to come down to, is the greenskins able to break the Chosen and Aspiring Champion goon squad, because everything else has pretty much been pushed off by the greenskins. We still have, we have some of the skirmishers able to save some of their stone trolls and marauders, and able to at least temporarily push off these Forest Goblin Spider Riders. And I think they really needed to push their engagement once they had rescued their own chaos trolls, and another burning head cutting through the formation. I think there could have been some better targets there. The only targets I think really went through were a couple of trolls. Trolls, I mean, they do have regen, so they are weak to fire, but a burning head is really used for mass infantry, as now we have some of the chaos trolls coming in to assist, as finally one of the stone trolls is able to break. And hopefully that Chaos has some units in the area to kind of peel things off. It looks like their skirmishers did kind of move away from that initial victory that they had gained, and allowing these river trolls and the Forest Goblin Spider Riders to return to this engagement. Archaon has actually been taking quite a bit of damage, as Skarsnik does have his wall popped right now, and so he's going to be getting a very nice Immunopsych plus a very good buff to their melee attack. Though despite that, we do have some stone trolls are routing, even though some of the assisting horse masters are also going to be routing as well. If we take a little look back, we are going to see that a lot of the mobility on both sides has been reduced quite a bit, though I think the greenskins actually have a bit more in terms of units left. Both of these horsemen and or I guess it was just Orc Arrow Boys. We still have one unit of Forest Goblin Spider Riders and one Horse Masters. So I guess the Horse Masters, if they are able to get into a good engagement, which this isn't really their engagement that they want to get, because they have the Savage Orc Big Guns are going to be coming in and are just going to be absolutely giving them the business. And those Horse Masters are going to get routed very, very quickly. Another Burning Head coming down, trying to eclipse with some units. So I think they're just going to be doing more damage to themselves than they are against the opponent greenskins in this particular cast, as with some of the casts before. So Archaon is very, very low at this point, and I think had he been a little higher, this may have been a little bit of a different engagement. We still have our Chosen and the Aspiring Champions. Aspiring Champions are pretty much there just for support, but the Chosen with the Armored Trolls are going to do fairly well. And I think also had Chaos kept his Trolls with those Aspiring Champions, that may have been a little different, being able to keep them in the fight a little bit longer, but the balance power is definitely going very much in the Greenskins' favor at this time. Skarsnik is routing, however, so that may be a little bit of a chance for Chaos to come back. Though the Fire Scout and Spider Raider is getting a nice rear charge, getting a perfect surround off onto the Chaos forces. The Chaos Trolls are now routing. Archaon is getting very low. I think the Stone Trolls being able to wail on him will be enough to take him out. Though the Chaos Trolls are coming in for a nice little bit of support, though I don't think it is going to be enough, and it's going to be a little bit too little too late. Though if they do get a mass route, as the balance of power does go back towards even as a mass chain route does occur for the Greenskins, so if Chaos is able to capitalize on this, this could be the victory that they desperately needed. Though it doesn't look like they have enough in that department. These Trolls do come back, and if they can get them up, keep these Night Goblin Shamans off, keep these Stone Trolls off, which these Chaos Trolls need to keep on them, that might be enough for a victory here. Skarsnik is very unlikely to come back. A fireball cutting through him, getting him all the way down to 104 health. Archaon, he could go for him, though I think he needs to make sure these Stone Trolls stay off, or these River Trolls here, and the Stone Trolls on the flanks. If they get back, which they... Oh, that is going to be disastrous right there. These two Trolls do come back, and they have regen with so much healing left to do, and I don't think that these units of... Actually, these units of Chosen can probably break these River Trolls, though this pocket of resistance right here with the Forest, or the Night Goblin Shaman and the Stone Trolls with the nice Nasty Skulkers and Orc Airboys is just going to be quite too tough of a nut to crack. And they are going to be coming for this isolated Chaos Chosen unit. And the rest, I mean, where did Archaon is hunting for Skarsnik. He does not need to be doing that. Skarsnik is very, very low, and he isn't going to be coming back to the fight right now. That leadership will not be regained, but he needs to be here supporting his Chosen, who is being absolutely surrounded by Savage Orc Biggins, Stone Trolls, and Nasty Skulkers. And yeah, the Chosen are not going to be able to hold off against that engagement. Chaos did manage to shatter this unit of Stone Trolls, though I think they left their Chaos Chosen too just isolated for far too long, and Archaon was chasing Skarsnik, who was already out of the fight. He wasn't going to be returning, even though he wasn't shattered. He was too low on health to regain that leadership. So now it's going to be just down to these Aspiring Champions, these Chaos Trolls, and a Vindictive Glare cutting into Archaon, doing a decent amount of damage, and Archaon is now wavering, so his support is likely not going to be doing a whole lot, but so is the Night Goblin Shaman, as a Fireball is going to be tried to be cast, but Archaon does shatter, and that will be army losses for Chaos. So that was almost Chaos came back there. It was very, very close, and it really came down to, I think Archaon needed to just forget about Skarsnik in that engagement at the end. Skarsnik was only at 100 HP, and he wasn't going to be coming back with that little. He needed to make sure that his Chosen stayed alive, and his Chosen got very isolated. They were chasing some River Trolls, which was good, but they didn't have any support. Had Archaon, another Troll unit, or even the Aspiring Champions been there to assist with the Chosen, they could have turned that engagement, and that could have been a Chaos victory. But instead, the Greenskins, despite that chain route, which was almost a critical route for them, that could have spelled almost certain doom when all of their core units routed there. Luckily, they routed in enough different directions where Chaos just didn't have enough troops to chase them all off. Had Chaos been a little bit more conservative with their horsemen and horsemasters, that route may have been the nail in the coffin. But alas, these Forest Goblin Spider Riders were able to hold the horsemen at bay for long enough, and Greenskins will take it, and that will be our match. So I hope you all enjoyed the video today, and as always, have a good one.